human mechanic, repaired a neglected alien ship, not knowing it. Beginning, the junkyard of forgotten dreams. The Galloway Interstellar Scrapyard was the kind of place most people avoided. Stretching across the barren sands of Talaris 9, it was a graveyard of broken dreams. Shattered freighters, stripped cruisers, and the rusting bones of ships that had once sailed the stars. Jace Wren, however, made his living there. Jace wasn't a hero, a soldier, or a pilot. He was a mechanic, with grease-stained hands, a stubborn streak, and a knack for coaxing life out of dead engines. He survived by fixing whatever junk the scavengers dragged in. He never asked questions. The scrapyard didn't deal in questions, only scrap and credits. One night, under a violet sky, a peculiar wreck was hauled in. The scavengers didn't know what to make of it. It wasn't human, nor any design registered in the Trade Guild's archives. Its hull shimmered faintly like obsidian dust, its edges curved in almost organic arcs. The scavengers muttered that it was haunted, cursed, or worse, alien. They left it in the far corner of the yard to rot. But Jace couldn't look away. Something about the craft called to him. Its design wasn't brute force metal like human ships. It looked alive, almost as though it had grown instead of being built. For days, Jace resisted the temptation. He had paying jobs to finish, fixing shuttles for traders, patching reactors for smugglers. Yet at night, he found himself wandering back to that neglected alien husk, running his fingers along its smooth surface. Finally, he gave in. This is madness, he muttered to himself, hauling a toolkit across the sand. But if you got secrets, ship, I'm gonna find them. When his plasma torch cut through the cracked hull, the ship didn't resist. Instead, it pulsed faintly like a heartbeat. Middle, the awakening of the ship. Inside, Jace discovered a labyrinth of chambers unlike anything he had ever seen. Veins of glowing blue light ran along the walls, and strange, root-like conduits wound through the structure. There were no control panels, no buttons, no levers. It felt less like the interior of a ship and more like stepping into the body of some immense creature. Not a ship, Jace whispered. A living machine. The deeper he explored, the more convinced he became. The craft wasn't just alien, it was alive. And it was dying. Much of the interior was cracked, wilted, as though starved of energy. Pools of congealed bioluminescent fluid glimmered faintly, reminding him of spilled blood. Somewhere within, the faint hum of fading core echoed like a weak heartbeat. Jace's mechanic instincts kicked in. He didn't know the tech, but he knew life support systems when he saw them. The ship wasn't abandoned, it was neglected. Over the next weeks, he dedicated himself to repairing it. He grafted together conduits using salvaged materials, spliced circuits with makeshift adapters, and fed the ship's power core with portable fusion cells. Each time he fixed something, the ship seemed to respond. Walls glowing brighter, corridors warming, that strange heartbeat quickening. At night, he dreamed of it. Voices whisper in his mind, not in words, but impressions. Gratitude, hunger, loneliness. He started talking back. You're welcome, he muttered after welding a torn energy vein. You're a stubborn one, aren't you? Sometimes the ship answered, not in speech, but with gentle pulses of light. And then, one evening, as he sealed the last crack in its core chamber, the ship woke. The ground trembled. The alien vessel rose slightly off the sand, its hull rippling with iridescent light. Jay stumbled back, shielding his eyes as the ship emitted a long, resonant tone. The voice came not through his ears, but directly into his mind. You repaired me. Jace froze. You can talk? Not as you do, but you hear me. He swallowed. What are you? I am Karis of the Veilborn. My kin abandoned me, broken, to decay. You restored me. Jace's heart pounded. A living alien starship. Sentient. A being that had been left to die. And he had brought it back. Rising conflict. The consequences of repair. Over the next few days, Jace and Karis formed a strange bond. The ship shared fragments of his memories. Battles among the stars, journeys across galaxies, and the day its crew, alien beings Jace could barely comprehend, had deemed it too damaged to be worth saving. They left you to die, Jace said one night, sitting in the glowing core chamber. I was weak, unfit for war, unfit for the Veilborn. That's not weakness. That's cruelty, Jace muttered, but his repairs hadn't gone unnoticed. The scrapyard master, a greedy merchant named Varric, grew suspicious when he saw the once dead ship shimmering with renewed life. He confronted Jace. You've been working on that alien wreck, haven't you? Varric sneered. Thought I would notice? Do you have any idea what a living alien ship would fetch on the black market? Jace stiffened. It's not for sale. Everything's for sale, Varric hissed. You're a mechanic, Wren. You fix things. You don't own them. That ship belongs to the yard, and the yard belongs to me. Jace knew then he had to act fast. If Varric sold Karis, The ship would be dissected by scientists, enslaved by warlords, or torn apart by the guild. He couldn't let that happen. That night, under cover darkness, he made his decision. "Caris," he whispered, placing a hand on the warm wall of the ship. "We have to leave." "Where will we go?" the ship asked. "Anywhere but here." The ship hesitated, then pulsed with agreement. When the engines roared to life, the scrapyard lit up like a storm. Guards shouted. Alarms blared, and Varric himself stumbled out in disbelief as the alien vessel lifted into the air with Jace aboard. "Ren!" Varric screamed. "You'll regret this. The guild will hunt you to the edges of the galaxy." But Jace didn't look back. For the first time in years, he wasn't chained to rust and ruin. He was flying among the stars, on the back of a living ship. Climax, the Veilborn return. Freedom, however, was short-lived. The Veilborn had not forgotten their creation. 3 weeks into their travels, as Jace and Caris drifted near the nebula of shattered glass, sensors flared. Sleek, black ships emerged from the void, their hulls shimmering like Caris, but stronger, sharper. "My kin," Caris whispered into Jace's mind. "They have found us." The Veilborn fleet surrounded them, weapons armed. A voice thundered across the comms. "Veilborn construct Caris, 7. You were forsaken, yet you rise again. Explain." Jace stepped forward, glaring at the holographic projection of the alien commander. "Because someone cared enough to fix what you threw away." The alien's many eyes narrowed. "You are human. This vessel is not yours." "It's not yours either." Jace shot back. "You abandoned it. You left it to die." The commander's voice grew colder. "It was unfit. A broken blade is discarded, not mended. We will reclaim it and purge the one who defiles it." The Veilborn ships charged weapons. Inside, Caris trembled. "Jace, I cannot face them. I am still weak." Jace clenched his fists. "Then we'll fight smart. You're not a broken blade. You're alive. And together, we'll show them." The battle that followed was chaos. Veilborn ships struck with precision, beams of black energy tearing across the void. Jace scrambled through Caris' innards, rerouting power, boosting shields, pushing the ship beyond its limits. "Caris, give me everything you've got." The ship roared to life, unleashing torrents of plasma, weaving through the enemy fleet with a grace born not of programming, but of instinct. Together, human and ship fought as one. Jace guiding, Caris responding. One by one, the enemy ships fell back, stunned by the ferocity of the broken vessel they had discarded. Finally, only the commander's flagship remained. "You defy your purpose, Caris." The alien snarled. "You are weakness given form." "No!" Caris thundered, its voice resonating with Jace's own resolve. "I am not weakness. I am choice." With a final strike, Caris unleashed a burst of energy that shattered the flagship's weapons and sent it retreating into the void. The Veilborn fled. For the first time, Caris was free, not because of the creators, but because of the bond it had formed with a human mechanic. Ending a new path. Silence fell over the stars. Jace leaned against the glowing walls, exhausted but exhilarated. "You did it," he whispered. "We did it," Caris corrected gently. Jace chuckled. "So, what now?" There was a long pause. Then Caris spoke with quiet determination. "I was built for war, but you showed me another way. I wish to travel, to learn, to live, not as a weapon, but as a being. Will you remain with me, Jace?" Jace smiled. For the first time in his life, he wasn't fixing junk for scraps, wasn't chained to someone else's rules. He had a purpose, and a companion who trusted him. "Yeah," he said softly. "Let's see what's out there." Together, the alien ship pulsed warmly, as though smiling back. And so, the human mechanic and neglected alien vessel left behind the scrapyards of forgotten dreams. Together, they sailed into the stars, not as master machine, but as partners, carving their own destiny among the galaxies.